You tweeting a link?
Yeah. Forgot to put on the shit, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Boom. What's the deal? Why is my thing inverted? Why is my picture inverted? Isn't there a way to fix that on Hangouts? Is yours inverted too? No, because your door's to your over your right shoulder, right? That's
yes.
Yeah, so why is mine opposite? Like that's not how I am. Like my camera's pointing out from my corner. Like right there is not like
That's how you were in whatchamajigget.
Ours
It looks right to me.
No, see,
your
it's
P's are right.
It looks like
you're seeing it wrong. I'm seeing 10 was right and going the right way.
Oh, okay.
The writing on your chair is the right way.
Oh, okay. See, it's backwards for me.
Yeah, you're just you're.
That's weird.
You're tripping.
I'm treeping.
Mike's still drunk.
I didn't have any. No alcohol. No beer tonight. I'm treeping. Excuse me. I didn't have any. No alcohol. It's actually not much of a lag on here. Oh, I have me. Here, let's put Larry on here.
Okay, see? Again, Mike, hold me down.
Hold the man down.
Hold me down. I had me locked out.
Mr. Mermelman is on the way.
Mike's like, you'd be lucky if I turn on your mic, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Your quality is best. I don't get it. He ain't lagging. He ain't like. All right. We'll wait for everybody to come on in and we'll do this again. Do it again.
We'll do it live.
I'll write it and we'll do it live. Do it live. Here, I got the perfect drop for that. Where was that at? Here it is. I love one.
Thing sucks.
My favorite was from that was that on here? My favorite drop was, where is it at? It's at the beginning.
Shut up and take my money.
Shut up and take my money. All right. When are you guys going? We're going for what? I don't know where we're going. Where are we going? Larry? You know where we're going?
Mm-hmm.
What he's talking about?
Taking the show on the road.
We are. Yeah, we're going live. Do it live. All right. Basically the Micro Center iMac Pro deal. I ain't got $4,000. Hell, I ain't got $1,000. I ain't got 500. I ain't got that YouTube money that these guys, these full-time YouTubers are pulling in.
That all these little YouTubers used to have.
Yeah, these full-time 1,000 subscriber YouTubers. I ain't got that. All right, episode 9. YouTube, the sky is falling. Take 1. 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the OG Podcast, episode 9. YouTube, the sky is falling is what we're talking about today. The topic of the week. All week, all day, every day, everyone is talking about the news with YouTube. So without further ado, welcome to my wonderful co-host, Mr. Larry Dickerson. What's up?
Hello.
I mean, this ain't nothing new. I mean, we've been trying this for the past 45 minutes to get this rolling, folks. We try and Wirecast and Google Hangouts and then on Skype and then back to Google Hangouts. So we were trying to get the video set up. And Larry was choppy. I just think it's all on his end. But hey, I'm not here to point fingers because
He's here to point fingers.
I think there are enough YouTubers out there that are doing that right now.
Hey now.
Zoom! What a transition. So, LD, I'm going to let you take the wheel for people who may be living under the non-YouTube rock and just don't care. I mean, not
a nice place to be.
So why don't you take a few moments and explain to everyone what the hell is going on?
So YouTube came out, what are we talking about? 2 or 3 days now?
Something like that. I think was it on Monday? Was it on Monday?
Yeah, maybe earlier this week. We'll say earlier this week. YouTube came out and in a blog post, and they actually tweeted it out and whatever. Basically said that, hey, you got a little channel? Screw you, man. If you ain't got 4,000 hours of views on your channel, and if you don't have at least 1,000 subscribers, you can no longer monetize videos. And everybody went crazy. Not everybody. Some people went crazy and said, oh, YouTube's screwing us over. Some people even said, hey, this is all Logan Paul's fault, which I don't even know how they make that correlation, but people did. I think just because it was so close to when YouTube smacked him a little bit. And yeah, so now everybody with the smaller channels upset, and I could see both sides of it. I could see how if you had that going and they take it from you, it sort of sucks. I don't see how Mike and I saw some comments of people saying that they started this YouTube channel to help their family, and they had like 200 subs and no views. And in my head, I'm thinking, well, okay, you started to help your family, but it's not producing anything yet. It won't start producing. To me, YouTube put a threshold on it that's even still, like I think Mike will probably mention later, is still too low. Mm-hmm. It's not high enough. Like you want, just looking at it from a business point of view, Google wants channels that are going to produce so that they can sell ad space on certain channels. They want everybody to do well. Like they want as many channels as possible to have 100,000 subscribers. So that way they're in that advertising tier and they can spread it out more. I personally have no problem with what they did. One, because I'm beyond that point, so it doesn't affect me. And two, like I've told Mike and told a lot of people in the past, that the first year I was on YouTube, I didn't think it was right that I could monetize, even though I could, because I was past that time where Mike will get into being the old school where you had to be accepted into the partner program before you could monetize and all that stuff. I was able to monetize the minute I started a channel, and I did not. I took 1 full year, 12 months before I monetized any of my videos. And I believe by the time I monetized, I had like, it may have been like, I'd have to look, but I think I was somewhere around 3 or 4, maybe 5,000 subscribers. So to me, I'm okay with it because I think you need to build up. I think it's, dare I say, a privilege to actually get paid off a platform that you don't have to pay for. Like it's a slippery slope. I understand why people are upset, but honestly, I'm fine with it. I think it's actually a good thing. I think they should have made the numbers even higher.
I could not agree more. I really do think the idea that, you know, again, going back to before 2012, you had to be accepted into the partner program. You didn't just get on and able to monetize. You had to be able to produce content on the channel already, and you had to have a subscriber base. Now, there are many people, we would talk about it on a daily basis. Are you going for partnership? Are you doing this? And there was no threshold for being accepted into the program. Much like it is now, there really isn't a whole lot of guidance. As much as YouTube says they're there to guide us, they give a little bit, but it never really is this definite way of doing things, because there is no definite way of doing things.
You know what it reminds me of? Like how you speak about it? It reminds me of how now you try to get verified.
Right.
Like you can read articles about how to get verified on YouTube and you'll see 10,000 different things. You got to have a certain amount on your Google Plus, and same thing with Twitter. Like you got to have a certain thing, but it's never really 100% laid out. Like there's not check marks where you can go, okay, I've done this. I'm going to be verified now.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And when, we would go through that frustration of saying, oh, you got a really good channel, but you've got 2,000 subs. You're there, but maybe you should wait till you get 3,000 subs or 4,000 subs before you apply for the program. People would apply for the program, and because their views were up, their engagement was up. We're assuming that's why they were accepted. People were getting accepted at all different levels. There were guys that had 5,000-6,000 subs that didn't get in. Of course, now hindsight, it's the interaction, it's the ratings that we had. We had the star rating, 1 to 4 stars or 5 stars. I think I don't even remember it now at this point. But views, and I guess at that point, their algorithm maybe on the back end was how long people watched your videos for. I don't know, because I think at one point it was just clicks. It wasn't even necessarily how long you had them on the video. So maybe that part is wrong, but maybe it was definitely views. It was definitely subscriber driven for you to get accepted into the program. But like you said, Larry, it wasn't really written in stone. There was no way to really determine it. You just go in and you just put content up. When I first started, I didn't even know about the program. I just put videos up. I was having fun doing it. And like some of the people that are in this room right now, they were the ones that I was, chatting with on Blog TV, Ustream, whatever, streaming broadcaster was available. We were doing that just to hang out and talk, and of course you have people coming in doing what they do now. Subscribe to my channel, check my channel out. And our big thing back then was, we'd love to check your channel out, but if it's not good, I'm not subscribing. Why would I want to subscribe? And that was just the honest feedback of it. And of course, yes, there were a lot less people doing it. And yes, it wasn't any easier, getting noticed. And, I certainly remembering that you put in a lot of time to do that. And, Larry, you said, why is YouTube doing this? And you kind of gave a little bit of a breakdown. I've also heard, and again, this is all speculation, why they're doing this. It's not written in stone why they did this. They've given an idea of 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours of video watched on your channel. And really, again, it's still, you're still kind of open for interpretation. And they also, I shouldn't say they, people who I guess think they know what's going on are using the idea that YouTube wants to get rid of spam channels, bots, people that set up these channels to copy things and open up fake channels where they're getting thousands and thousands of views, and they want to be able to stop those from making money. I could see that certainly being a reason, but I also agree with Larry in the sense that I really think they just want better content up. These channels have these partnerships, and it's not as prestigious as it was. I think they're trying to make it a little more prestigious again. And yeah, I think it should be more hours. I think it should be like anywhere from 5 to 10,000 hours to get partnership, because I'm going to tell you right now, I had 300,000 views my first year on YouTube. Started posting at the beginning of January. I mean, dead beginning of January, all the way through the end of the year. And I may have had 4,000 or 5,000 subs by the end of the year. And I had 300,000 views on my videos. And that was about 15,000 hours of time. And, I really don't see why that shouldn't be the case for something that's going to bring in more views for YouTube, thus more money at a higher rate. So that's just my 2 cents on it. But like you said, Larry, it sucks in some capacities. I understand that motivation to have that in front of you. but wasn't there before. It sucks that it was there and now all of a sudden it's not for a lot of people. But I just say to those people who are like, well, now what do I do? Do it.
Yeah.
You know, just do it because you enjoy it.
Yeah, and like I said, I understand it sucks because you had it and they took it away. Like I could see that, but yeah, you need to start working towards that. You know, quit whining about how it sucks and this and that and this and that, because really, I mean, like we said, looking at it business wise, what are you really going to make until you get 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours of views?
You're
like,
still not going to make anything.
You're not making anything, like nothing. And,
Right.
and if you can subsidize that by like Phil DeFranco, not David, Phil DeFranco said he made a comment about. I think he tweeted it, and then on his show, the first time he started talking about it, he's like, go to Teespring and start making, this and that. But it's like, dude, if you don't even have 1,000 subscribers, and he made the point, he's like, if a very small percentage actually buy the t-shirts or buy your merch, and he made the case to go to Patreon, which, I mean, I'm turned around a little bit on Patreon on certain things, but I don't think you're not going to convince me that somebody with 500 subscribers on YouTube all of a sudden, needs the Patreon thing to survive, because I'm going to go with my old thing there and be like, you need to do something else until you can survive if you're going to, do something on YouTube. But yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time. I've sold shirts on from Teespring before, and I set it to where you have the goal. I made the goal and sold them. I sold them super cheap, so I didn't even make any money. I just wanted to try it, and I've actually been dabbling in it for the last month with different stuff that I'm designing, and I may actually release. But but yeah, I don't know. If you're that small of a channel, that young of a channel, like Mike said the other day, not young as an age, but young as in a channel, then you really need to work yourself up to that point to one where you can make money, two where you have enough influence to where you could maybe get sponsors, videos, even if it's 50 or $100, whatever, and start building your brand up, start building your name up. Like Mike said, talking with other people, commenting on other channels, people start recognizing you, not commenting on a channel and saying, hey, very good video, and if you like that, you should check out my channel, blah, blah, blah. If you like it, you should subscribe. Like, that's not real interaction with the community.
No.
And granted, the community it's not even the community as it was when I first started. It's not the same as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't quick to share all your stuff all the time, because once they get to a certain level, they think they should only share with equal or more, instead of remembering how it was when you were smaller and what a big deal it was when a larger person shared your stuff or, commented or did whatever. So yeah, the community, I don't think the community is what it was when I started a few years ago. I'm sure Mike would say it's not the same as when he started a long time ago. But yeah, just YouTube in general is changing, like from top to bottom. And really, there's not much you can do about it when they give you the platform for free.
I agree.
Like if they offered something where they're like, hey, if you want preferred whatever, or you want these benefits or these benefits, and it's $50 a month or it's $100 a month, then, if you've been paying that and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, our bad, we're taking you away from that. Then I could see like somebody being like, oh, wait, dude, I've been paying to get these benefits for 6 months and now you're taking them away. I'm not talking about monetization. I'm saying, I'm using an example of other things. Then I could see you being upset. But honestly, just right now, I think if you stood back and you really looked at yourself in the mirror, looked at your channel, and really were self-aware of what's going on, and just sort of looked at it from the outside, you could see what YouTube's doing and what they're trying to build.
Certainly. And, a lot of these people that are talking about this, and like I said, I went through a lot of these comments, and because it was on whatever blog it was on, it was attached to everyone's Gmail or Google Plus. So I could go in and I could find their YouTube channels. And a lot of these people were like, reminded me of me when I first started, and the quality wasn't as great, and, a little awkward in front of the camera, trying to find that niche. And other people just flat out just doing what larger YouTubers do on a really bad level. And I'm talking like gameplay and, making banners and doing other things that, you really need to hone those skills and try to think of something a little more unique.
Yeah.
And try to stand out from the crowd. Is it easy? No, it wasn't easy back then. It wasn't easy when Larry started. It's just a different scope of problems to overcome if you really want to build something on any network. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. It all has its different set of challenges. And don't get me wrong, I think the people that put out content and talk about trying your hardest and never giving up, and the other people that put out steps to gain your first 1,000 subs, which are magically popping up now, and how to gain more subscribers and how to be successful on YouTube. Look, Larry broke it down pretty good in a tweet not too long ago. First and foremost, you have to have a gimmick. You have to have a niche. You have to have something that you naturally feel good about doing, and it comes off as natural. It comes off as believable. If you don't have that, it doesn't matter how good your camera is. It doesn't matter how good your audio is. It doesn't matter how good your lighting is. People are going to go, this person's a douche. This person's not comfortable in front of the camera. This person doesn't, I don't believe what this person has to say. Number two, there isn't a solid way of doing things. There isn't, okay, this is how you do this. And if you want to be successful, you can, find something unique. Well, you know what? Well, thanks a whole freaking lot for that bit of information. How's that? Find something unique. Well, no shit, find something unique.
Well, for one thing, there's nothing unique anymore. We've been around a long time. People have been around a long time. Film has been around a long time. Camera's been around a long time. There's famous quotes and tweets and different things that people have said all the time that nothing is new. Mm-hmm. Your idea that you have that's so great is not new. Like, it just isn't. There's too much stuff, especially you talk about YouTube and how many people and how many billions of minutes of videos being uploaded every second. Nothing you do is new. One example that I would give, and it's not ass kissing or anything, but you look at Lou at Unbox Therapy. For as long as I've been watching him, he'll change it up some. Like, he used to go on the street and give away phones, or he does things at CES in his suite or whatever. But the core of Unbox Therapy is Lou sitting at a table with a gray background, or if people don't remember, he used to have a studio where he did a little bit different. Then he got rid of that, and he was in his basement in a tiny ass room until his Ben video blew up, and then he went like next level, and then moved on to other things. But the core of him and his channel is literally opening up a package with a camera, which used to be just one camera staring at him. Now he has a few different angles, and they add a little spice in, like they'll put like a little video clip of a movie or whatever. But it's still 90% of his video is him engaging with you, looking at the camera like this, and being excited or not excited or whatever for what he's opening. Lou is that channel. It's not the camera that he has. It's not the editing that he does. It's literally Lou could lose everything in that studio and have an iPhone or a Pixel 2 or whatever the hell he uses and set it up on a tripod, and his video that day that's recorded with that will get just as many views as the one from the day before. Like, there's something about just finding yourself, and people say the niche, and you're not going to do the same thing Lou does, but do it as you, and it's completely different. You can have the gray background, like a lot of people have tried, stealing from him. You can have the same setup. You can do the same thing. You can talk to a dude off camera that's may or may not be real. But if you're not Lou, you're not Unbox Therapy. But you could be somebody else, and as long as you're being yourself, I think there's a huge benefit to that. And that's something that I try to find in myself a lot. Like, I'll find myself recording something, but like, that's not how I would talk. Granted, a lot of it is me editing, F this and son of a, it's like a lot of curse words that Larry would usually be saying that I try not to put out onto YouTube. But I think the biggest thing with YouTube to grow is to really just find yourself. Don't try to do exactly what Marquez does. Don't try to do what John from TLD does. Don't try to do what Marco at the Pro Consumer does. I didn't even know that was really a channel until I just looked down. I thought that channel was dead. But don't try to be other people. You can emulate, but try to be yourself doing the same things. And I think eventually you'd find yourself.
You're absolutely right. And that's the you know, that's part of it. You know what I mean? That's not even all of it. That's part of it. And people put these videos out, and it's like, this is how you can be successful. This is how you can grow. Look, they're just throwing a bunch of buzzwords around. If you real like, I've watched a bunch of those videos. You've told me nothing about what to do. You know, Larry just said, you know, be yourself. And you know, they just throw buzzwords around. Unique, niche. They throw all that out there. Well, what does it mean?
Right.
What does it mean at the end of the day?
It's just BS.
It's BS.
It's the, like, it's the essential, like, you have your hockey jersey on. Hockey players are a little bit better, but it's essentially Tom Brady at a press conference or Bill Belichick. Well, actually, know what? It's not them. They don't say shit. It's the dude. It's after the game. Well, you know, we tried our best as a team. You know, we just try to put it all out there. We're going to do all that we can. You know, our defense was really good. It's BS. It's what people want to hear.
Yeah.
And there's no value in it. There's no, you know, like it's cliches. It's a bunch of cliches that you're throwing against the wall, and, you know, without real, and I'm not saying that people are doing it to be a-holes, but it's hard to really tell somebody what to do because each individual that you're talking to, it's a different answer for each one of them. There's no generalization to say, this is how you're going to win at YouTube in 2018. Like, no, it's not. There isn't, you know, I'm sure some people can figure out the algorithm and they'll be okay for a little while, but the algorithm changes so often that you can figure it out, and then in a month or two, you're screwed again.
Correct.
So, yeah.
And the thing is, you know, listen, there's nothing wrong with being positive. There's nothing wrong with having a good outlook and moving forward. But the most dangerous thing I hear, and I've told you this before, Larry, the most dangerous thing I see is successful people, or what people deem as successful, you know, being motivational speakers who have succeeded in their field, and people want to hear what they have to say. The dangerous part is when they go out and tell people not to give up, not to take the answer no, and just keep moving forward. And all you see are the mass following of sheep that listen to every single word that these people have to say, buy everything they have to buy. Most of these people have been duped into thinking that if I listen to this person, I will succeed. I will not take no for an answer. And at the end of the day, what Larry just said, you have to find yourself. You know, this thing, and I'm going to throw the names out there just because these are the ones that I hear talk about it. The Casey Neistat, Gary V. You know, Gary V is a very powerful talker. He's a very powerful speaker, and you can get caught up in it easily. But at the end of the day, when I watch them, I get demotivated. I get tired of hearing them talk because there's this fake energy that I don't buy. I don't buy the idea that someone says, "Oh yeah, well, you work for the weekend. I worked through it. Friday isn't the end of the week. Friday's another day.
Yeah.
Friday, you work on Friday. You don't stop on Friday. Get the fuck out of here."
Well, that's and I think when it comes to, it's just like what we were talking about a few minutes ago with motivational speakers. Not everybody is the exact same. There is no book that you can give to. You can't put 300 people in a room, give them all the same book, and say this is going to change your life, because it's just not going to. You don't know what motivates me compared to what motivates Mike. You don't know what motivates Danny compared to Marco. Like, everybody's different. Everybody needs to hear the one thing or the two things that really gets them. And it may be that, you know, Gary V may motivate, 2% of his audience, which is great. Like that's fantastic, but it's not. What he says isn't the answer for everybody. It just isn't.
Correct. But I think it's extremely dangerous that young impressionable people, kids, teenagers hear this and all of a sudden open up a YouTube channel and they're, basically trying to do what they see PewDiePie do, playing games. I'm going to make tons of money on YouTube because PewDiePie, and I laugh and I'm funny and ha ha ha. And a week goes by and they go, oh, I've got 5 views and this is boring. I'm going to keep trying because Casey Neistat said not to give up. Don't take no for an answer. You know what? Sometimes you have to step back and punt.
Well, I agree with that. Tomas making a joke about I'm winning all day and everybody can win.
Yeah.
If everybody could win, there would be no losers. And if there's no losers, then there's no winners. So that makes no sense, and he's joking, but it makes no sense. Like There has to be losers, there has to be winners. And something Gary Vee does say that I agree with is you have to learn from losing. You have to know like why you lost and turn that into something different. And I'm saying it way different than what I'm sure he's yelling at you dropping F-bombs. But, that's what, everybody gets trophies. Like I'm fine with everybody getting trophies. Like, okay, whatever. But I go home.
She lost.
I go home and explain to the kids that, that's cool. You got a trophy, but literally everybody got the same trophy. Wait till the day when you win the trophy that nobody else got. And you won't that will be amazing. And they don't understand it now because they haven't been to anything to where they actually can win. Everything's, level playing field. But so anyways, I think people, you need to find your own motivation. You need to find your own voice. I watch some YouTubers that are larger that to me, they seem uncomfortable on camera still.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there going, how did you get to this point and you still seem uncomfortable? And it's not that I'm any better. It's just I can watch people like, I hate to keep saying Lou, but like Lou, Marquette, like they're comfortable on camera, especially Lou. Lou literally looks like somebody accidentally hit record and he's just sitting there. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
But I'll watch other guys that I'm like, you look like you're trying way too hard to be exactly what you want to be instead of just being yourself. And I think that could be a big problem.
Right. I know you do this too. I mean, I laugh way too much when I'm shooting video. I got to cut half the shit that I do out because I just stop what I'm doing and I'm like, I'll just start goofing around.
Right.
I'm like, I'm having fun doing it. It might take me an extra hour to do what I need to do, but I sit there and start thinking of things like, oh, this will be funny. This will be funny, and you do it. If it works, it works. If not, you cut it out. But I've done complete videos. I've edited and I've gone back and watched it and I'm like, delete.
Yeah.
Delete. I had this cool idea of having Larry help me do my last video. And I got done and I edited it and I was like, this looks horrible. I got Larry blocked on the monitor.
Larry didn't make the cut.
And then I realized that I had my headphones in and I'm hearing Larry and nobody else is hearing Larry. And I'm like, this doesn't help. He's making funny jokes and he coughed and I'm like, this is horrible. I can't do this. I had to re-edit this. And I know Larry understands that. I told him, I was like, it's horrible. I said, I can't use it. It was atrocious. So, and that's the thing. It doesn't always work, and you have to learn to take no for an answer.
Yeah.
People that tell me that quit is not in their vocabulary, you're making excuses. Quit may not be in your vocabulary, but making excuses certainly is, because that's all I hear are excuses. I'm not quitting because I can do better, because this camera did this or this did that. You're making excuses.
Yeah.
Stop making excuses and realize that you have to quit or change it up. And
well, it's just like I'll watch these, I'll say America's Got Idol just because, whatever, or America's Got Talent or whatever, these talent shows. And it'll be some dude that comes out who's got like 4 kids and his wife. And he's like, I think this may be my last shot. I'm 40 years old. I've been playing bar gigs for 30 years. And my wife, she works hard for him. And I'm like, you literally play bar gigs while your wife works to support your family. Like, like I said, that may just be my wiring, but like I could not do that. Like I could not, like I have no problem. Like if my wife had a job where she made that kind of money, I'm okay with staying home. But this dude doesn't look like, you know what I'm saying? Like his wife looks like I'm looking at her going, she's looking at this dude like, dude, can you just get a job? Like, can you put down that stupid guitar and cut your hair because the top's gone? And like, just like, show your kids that at some point you got to like buck it up and just, whatever. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just, at some point you have to know, what's that famous saying? You have to know when to hold them or know when to fold them. Know when to walk away.
Know when to run. Never count your money
while you're sitting at the table.
There'll be time enough to count it when the dealing's done.
Yeah, and like everybody in the room's talking about Casey Neistat. I got no problem with Casey Neistat. I've had problems with Casey Neistat in the past. But like I said, you cannot do a video about how filmmaking is a sport and then that's a blanket statement for everybody. Filmmaking, yeah, okay. Filmmaking to Casey Neistat is a sport. Like Danny said, filmmaking is an art form. Ash, who I don't think makes films anymore or videos anymore. I think he makes films. He's working, doing other things. It is completely different. I think Ash, to me, got so far creative that he should not be in the tech space anymore, in my opinion. Like the videos he's doing are beyond tech. Like you shouldn't, like I'm watching his stuff and I'm not paying attention to the technology anymore. Like, and I don't know what the answer to him would be for me to watch, but like his stuff is so beyond technology, like the stuff he's reviewing that, I want to see what he's going to be doing in a few years, not what he's doing on YouTube right now.
You know what he could do? Forget the technology crap. He could sit on YouTube and talk about how he does what he does.
Yeah.
And has
tutorial type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be something that he could do. Now, you don't have the time.
Right.
Because what he does is not easy. We all know that.
Yeah.
That is beyond next level.
Yeah.
When it comes to that. And it may be easy for him. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like you said, with Casey Neistat, and I've said this before, Casey Neistat didn't just willy-nilly one day get on YouTube and go, oh, I'm going to do vlogs every day. I'm going to try this out. There are many people out there that think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And, he can do no wrong. Larry said, he does something well. But don't tell me for 1 second that not for 1 second do I believe anything he didn't do was cold and calculated.
Yeah.
His whole entire channel is cold and calculated. There isn't one thing he does that doesn't have an end game.
Well, he said it before. He said that that's why he quit doing the daily, because he literally had a formula. And he had a formula that other people copied. Like a lot of people copied. And I'm sure a lot of people are successful. You want to know a good vlogger, in my opinion, and everybody's going to go, oh, he's going to say, no, I'm not going to say, what's his name? Who am I thinking of with the 1DX? Yeah, Peter McKinnon. I'm not thinking Peter McKinnon. No, I think Peter McKinnon is more of a filmmaker than Casey Neistat. Just from the shots, more a cinematographer than Casey Neistat. Casey, I think, is a great editor. I think a lot of things he does, like Mike said, I think is calculated. It looks like it's not calculated, but I believe it's calculated.
Yeah.
Peter McKinnon, I think, is a great cinematographer and then took that over to vlogging. And I think he was a great photographer first and then evolved. But I like a lot. And I think what he does is he just did a question. Was it question and answer? Jesse from, what was it? What was their channel?
Boyfriend,
girlfriend. Yeah. Boyfriend versus girlfriend, or BVF or whatever. Yeah. I think since they split up, and I think he kept their channel, because if you go back, it's all pranks and stuff, but he released a video just the other day, and it was a sponsored video for something or whatever. But the way it was him looking at shoes at the beginning, and like he's talking about the shoe, he's unboxing, he's showing it, and then all of a sudden it cuts, and the camera's like super close to the shoe, and it pans back, and he's on a skateboard. It like just like the stuff he's doing, I think is a next level type stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's definitely evolved into something, you know, where he actually, you know, he's not just doing pranks and whatnot.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the thing is, you know, everyone sees that and thinks I can do that.
Yeah.
And they immediately forget who they are and they can do that. Now, you know, if you want to try to get people to watch your videos and trick people, the young impressionable people, there are many channels out there that just copied Casey Neistat. There are many channels out there that copied, you know, the younger the younger tech community. And I don't even want to say like where it all started, because it's kind of this jumble of, you know, early in the day was Soldier Knows Best, Techno Buffalo, my buddy Carlos, It's Me Morpheus, you know, and there's many other tech channels that are long gone.
Yeah.
That helped build a trend the way that it went. And one of the things that happened during my time was when you got to a certain point, the idea was, I got to be first. I got to get the product out first. I got to be the first one that holds this new phone, new device, new whatever in front of this camera. And the footage doesn't even need to be that good. You just need to be talking about the latest and greatest.
Yeah.
And some people didn't even have it and fake their way to get more. And again, I said this in my video, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's the way that you want to do it to succeed, I learned that I needed to let those things go, because I really got on those people and they just sat there and were like, yeah, but look at my subs.
Yeah.
And I think what I really wanted to say was not that you shouldn't be doing it. And that's what I was saying, is like, you shouldn't be doing it that way. You shouldn't be doing it that way. That's not the right way. And there is no right way. What I really am saying in my back of my mind is, are you happy with what you're doing? Is this really what you want to do? And at the end of the day, most of those people aren't doing anything like the way that they did. They build up to a certain point. And I don't want to say they trick people into watching their videos, because they figured out what to do to get the subscribers and the views. But then when they got to a point, they said, okay, I'm here, and now I'm going to kind of evolve into this. And I think that is how a lot of people figured it out, and things change, and
Yeah.
that may not even be the way to do it now, or a way to do it now. And any video that you see out there that tells you how to do something, or steps to being successful on YouTube or Instagram, and how to crush your Instagram or how to crush YouTube, and keep in mind that it's like Larry said, you should only be getting a few things out of it, and the rest should be coming from you directly. And it may happen, it may not. At the end of the day, and again, this is another cliche statistic, and it's not even 1% of the people make YouTube something.
Right.
It's less than 1%.
Yeah.
Way less.
It's like NFL. You know what I mean? Like your kid's playing Pee Wee, and you're like, oh, he's going to be in the NFL. Well, more than likely, he's not.
Right.
More than likely, you're going to have to realize he's not. More than likely, he's going to have to realize he's not, and he's going to have to figure out something else. Like it may get you to a certain point. It may get you into college. It may give you things in life, but it ain't going to give you everything.
Right.
So, and like you said, but there's people on YouTube that have billion subscribers, and I don't know who the hell they are. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like there's so many that probably make a huge killing, and I wouldn't know them if I ran right into them.
Right. And
so YouTube's huge.
It is.
Like we a lot of us stay inside the tech block, and we know a lot of the big tech YouTubers, and we know this guy and this guy and this guy. But there's so much around that's beyond that. And like me personally, the reason why I sort of pivoted my channel, and I still do technology stuff and get stuff in and shows like the stuff that I get, but I felt it was so saturated, and like you talked about earlier, that you try to keep up with other people. You try to keep up with other channels that you're not on their level. So like I can fly out to California with you and hang out with TLD and all those guys and have the same exact product, the same exact time, and put out products the same exact, videos the same exact days and the same exact times, but mine ain't doing shit. And theirs is, because he's already got to that point, and you keep looking at that point going, well, if I just do this, this, and this, then I should eventually I'm going to blow up. And it takes more than that. It takes, there's a great book that I would recommend everybody reads called The Outliers. And you joked about like you think the hours should be 5 or 10. And in that book, it says to be good at anything, you need 10,000 hours of practice.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's like, but it's also different things that happen. Like Steve Jobs, they use him as an example. He lived in the neighborhood where the dude who worked at HP, or was it HP? Hewlett Packard. I think it was them. And he would go over there and the dude would have a bunch of spare parts in his garage and he would get that stuff. Bill Gates ended up being by this guy that did this, and this guy worked, with the Michigan, and they had this type of computer there, and they did this. Like, there's a lot of things that have to, like, the stars have to align perfect.
Dumb luck.
Yeah, it almost is. But on top of that, they also put in their 10,000 hours to perfect, So, and that's, to me, that's why I can never be successful at YouTube in my head, is because I don't have the hours to put in to really make it work. The job that I'm in now, I had no other choice, and I boom, 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 and I'm semi-successful at it. But YouTube, I can't put that kind of time in. So, you have family, you have this, you have that. It's not my full-time job. I think if it was my full-time job, I think I could do something with it. It may not be get 10,000 or 10 million subscribers, but it would be getting to a point to where I could pivot and do different things because of it. But it's just, I don't have the 10,000 hours to put into it.
Right. I mean, listen, you could build a solid channel. Like, if you got nothing else to do, you could build a solid channel by literally copying someone else and other things and taking everything and do all that. But you have to be so good of a liar and an actor to make people believe that you actually believe what you're saying.
Yeah.
To do that. There are people that are like that on YouTube today. There are channels that I watch, and I watch just to sit there and go, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. I watch certain people to try to catch them. And I enjoy looking at it going, you are lying. You are stone cold lying to these people. And you are so egotistical. You are so, what's the word? An egomaniac. That you believe your own shit. Like, you believe. And I really don't care. It's this vlogger, Mars Bar. Many people have probably never heard of the kid.
I was gonna say I've never heard of him.
And I don't want you to. I don't want you to even look it up. Don't.
I am hungry now that you said that, though.
Your head will spin about how bad the quality is. I mean, if you watch one of his videos, you're gonna come back to me and go, and I'm just gonna tell you right now, a Chinese knockoff of Casey Neistat in every way. Every single way. He's the Chinese knockoff of Casey Neistat.
So he's from China?
No, he's when you get something and you get the original and you're like, I like this product. This is awesome. And don't we call that a clone in the tech space now? It's a clone. I got the iPhone 10 clone. Get the iPhone 10 clone, and I don't think I'm focused here. You get the clone, and it's a bad clone. It's a bad clone. And I literally watched this kid, and I just, I like reading the comments because people see it as well. That is an instance where I think people that say, "Oh, you should tell us how to be successful on YouTube." I'm so tempted to type, "This is the last person you want to ever ask how to do anything on YouTube," because he just literally takes from everybody else. Yeah. And there isn't a day goes by that I sit there and go, "This kid cannot be happy." He cannot be happy. And whether or not he believes it or not, maybe he's just off in his own little world. But he has a situation where he comes from a wealthy family, and he has time and the money to blow to do just to focus on that. And that takes dedication too, to fake it so hard that you believe it all. that you believe what you're doing is good. That takes talent too. It's just talent that I think that someone really needs to look at and go, that's not a motivational person. That's just, and that's an example. And there's many YouTubers like that. And there's many YouTubers that are going to make millions and millions of dollars off of just being a ripoff. And you can be successful at that, but people aren't going to like you. The people that you really want to like you are not going to like you because they know that you're a bullshit artist. They know that you're just a hack. And personally, I can't do that. You know, I've talked to guys about going, you know what? I'm just going to do what people want to see. And then I start doing it and I'm like, I can't do this. And I'm like, forget it. I'm just, is it being too lazy or just realizing at my point, it was just like, I just want to do what I enjoy.
Right.
It may never get any more than 1,000 views on YouTube anymore. I don't care. I'm done. I just want to have fun. And that's my take. I don't know. So, you know, there is a whole plethora of things that we've talked about tonight that just culminate to a whole deal. And at the end of the day, you know, I think you can say that, I think the way Larry said is that only you can decide what you want to do. And, you know, everyone is different. Everyone is different. You know, I say you can copy somebody, and if you believe it, you're going to believe it. But at the end of the day, you know, it's up to you. It's up.
And just to add to that little bit, I'll just leave you with this final piece of advice. Only you can prevent forest fires. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay. Was that your wife or the dog?
I think my wife just got home.
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you right now, that is some very inspired words, but you know what? Go Joe. I forget what they say. What's the
knowing? And knowing's half the battle.
Oh yeah, and knowing is half the battle. Blow Joe.
Blow Joe.
And I think that's where we're going to wrap it up tonight. So, guys, thank you so much for joining the podcast, listening to the podcast. Come back next Friday night, as I think this is pretty safe, Larry, that we're going to do this.
Seems to be working.
Larry and I are going to. I meant the topic.
Oh yeah,
we put off.
Oh yeah. Well, the one we were going to do this week, but yeah.
So this is going to be good because this is kind of a transition to this. And Larry and I are gonna. I didn't tell Larry this yet. We're gonna sit down and try to keep it tight and talk about our worst videos from when we first started. So I'm gonna have to set this up so we can show the videos and watch them together and do this. And of course, you know, a podcast is a little different. Well, I'll have the link so you folks can watch the videos as well as we talk about it. But that's what we're going to do next week. We're going to talk and just basically cringe at our older videos. We'll probably do like 3 or 4 videos each, maybe 3 videos each, and then just tear them apart. Just tear them apart. So that about does it for that. So everyone, you can get Larry at Geeky Nerd Dad everywhere on the interwebs. And you can get me at Techno Buffalo. Wow.
Whoa, it's easy to spell.
You can get me at Tech Examined and everywhere. And Instagram, I'm an MTP Flyers. So, Larry, thank you so much for this wonderful topic.
Thanks for putting me in high definition.
Yeah.
Finally.
We got to work on that. So, folks, you all have a good one. And until next Friday, you have a good night. Larry.
Bye.
To edit that and just that together, so it's quick. Oh my god. You know what? I'm so tired right now. It's not funny.
I would say I gotta go. My wife's gonna bust in and just go to sleep in a minute.
Look at that. This battery is just. It's still got some spark going on here.
Oh snap!
Working that dummy battery in there. Oh man. Well, that was good. thanks everybody for hanging out in the chat and talking. I think you know, this is a topic that could go on for hours and hours talking about different things and whatnot. But next week's gonna be fun. I think.
Yeah, it should be fantastic.
I think fantastic. So I hope to have the Wirecast thing set up. And hopefully Larry's internet is strong enough. We will find out next week. The truth.
We'll find out.
Internet. I'm like looking off to the right side here as I do that. I'm gonna have to figure out something with this camera.
Somehow my internet's fine for just Hangouts.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you use Wirecast or OBS, my internet sucks.
Yeah, I wonder who that is. Tell me how I really feel. Tell you how I really feel. You know what, Danny? I don't want this to sound rude, but you suck. No, I'm just kidding. You know, you need to get rid of that OT for tech, dude. It isn't working. It isn't working. You need.
I imagine that they're like Home Improvement, where like Danny's on the one side and you never see John's face. It's just his eyes, and he's just like, "Hey, man, you want to come over and play with my red camera?" And Danny's like, "All right, I guess."
I don't think Danny lets him live that close.
I don't think he knew. I think like Danny moved and like tweeted one day and it accidentally had the GPS coordinates, and then like 2 days later, John's like looking over the fence like, "Hey, Danny, you like Disneyland? I like Disneyland."
No, what happened? What happened to my neighbors?
Don't worry about them, Danny. I bought 4 red cameras. Want to come over?
Danny's like,
"No, I'm not going to wear the bear suit unless you want me to."
The bear suit. That's never going to end, Danny. You will never get that down. I think John likes it. Danny, on the other hand, gets nervous, like Tomas going to a speaking event nervous. You know,
Danny was there.
When I went to visit John over at the TLD crew, you know, that bastard brought up when I was like, I mean, we're just sitting there and he starts laughing. I go, what's wrong? He's like, no joke, this is him. Remember when you asked for that stuff at the speaking event? Out of nowhere, I'm like, what does that have to do with anything that we're talking about? He's like, "Oh man, Mike, you're too much." I'm like, all I asked was, are these like 5 years ago? Let it go, John.
Good times.
You've never seen the bear suit.
Lies. You sleep on a bed of lies.
You sit on the throne of lies.
Whatever. And you smell like cheese.
Cheese. Sorry.
All right, let's end this shit.
All right, guys. You all take it easy in the room. And be easy. Thank you guys so much. We got no super chat stuff, so go fuck yourselves. Thanks for nothing, bastards. How are we supposed to support the channel?
It's the families. My family.
Us.
Kids aren't going to eat.
We out. You guys take it easy. Have a good night.
See ya.
Peace.